Welcome. In this presentation, we will explore the complete lifecycle of robotic process automation, or RPA, initiative. Successful automation is not achieved by building bots immediately. It begins with careful planning and a structured approach. We will first understand why rushing into automation can create operational problems and why a detailed written plan is essential. Next, we will see how brainstorming sessions help identify valuable automation opportunities by involving employees from different departments. We will also examine the role of consulting firms and learn how they guide organizations in selecting suitable processes for automation. And finally, we will discuss how to evaluate return on investment, or ROI, by measuring both business value and implementation costs, and how to develop an effective execution strategy for a successful RPA. Robotic Process Automation, or RPA, is designed to be user-friendly, with visual workflows and drag-and-drop development. While this makes automation easier to adopt, it can also create a false impression that bots can be built without proper planning. Many organizations rush to automate multiple processes in the hope of achieving quick results. Although this approach may seem efficient, it often leads to unstable bots, inefficient workflows, and projects that become difficult to maintain. The image on this slide represents the complexity that develops when automation grows without a clear structure. The key lesson is that successful RPA requires a strong strategic foundation. Before developing any bots, organizations should carefully assess their processes, define objectives, and establish a structured implementation framework to ensure reliable and sustainable automation. A successful RPA project begins with a well-prepared written plan. This document acts as the strategic blueprint that guides the entire automation initiative before any development starts. It should clearly define the project's objectives, business priorities, and expected outcomes, while assigning roles and responsibilities to every team member. A written plan also ensures that everyone works toward the same goals, reducing confusion and improving coordination. In addition to business planning, technical and regulatory requirements must also be considered. These include organizational security protocols, the impact of automation on the existing information technology infrastructure, and governance and compliance standards. Governance defines how automation is managed and controlled, while compliance ensures that automated processes follow internal policies and external regulations. Together, these elements create a strong foundation for secure, reliable, and sustainable RPA implementation. Before creating a detailed implementation plan, organizations should conduct a brainstorming phase to discover the best automation opportunities. At this stage, employees are encouraged to share ideas freely without worrying about criticism or technical limitations. The objective is to identify as many potential automation candidates as possible by using the collective knowledge of the workforce. These sessions should include representatives from multiple departments, such as finance, human resources, marketing, sales, and legal, because each team understands its own processes and challenges. Bringing together diverse perspectives helps uncover repetitive tasks, hidden inefficiencies, and cross-functional bottlenecks that may otherwise be overlooked. This collaborative approach ensures that automation ideas are practical, aligned with business needs, and capable of delivering meaningful value to the organization. Before selecting processes for automation, organizations must first understand their current operations. This assessment begins by measuring the existing level of automation to establish a clear baseline. Next, teams should evaluate which processes are performing well and identify areas that require improvement. It is also important to identify repetitive and routine tasks, estimate how much time they consume, and determine how many employees are involved. Another key step is reviewing previous technology initiatives to understand what succeeded, what failed, and the reasons behind those outcomes. Finally, leaders should assess employee attitudes toward automation. Some employees may worry that software bots will replace their jobs, so addressing these concerns early helps build trust, encourage collaboration, and improve the chances of a successful RPA implementation. Employee ideation workshops provide a structured way to identify and evaluate automation opportunities. These workshops usually take place over a few days and combine learning with collaborative problem-solving. They begin with an introduction to robotic process automation, explaining what software bots are, where they can be used, and the types of tasks that are suitable for automation. In the second phase, participants work together to identify potential automation ideas and assess them based on factors such as feasibility, implementation cost, and expected return on investment, or ROI. As shown in the workflow diagram, ideas are collected, organized, and evaluated to understand their practicality. In the final phase, smaller teams present and validate the most promising ideas, ensuring that only valuable and achievable automation opportunities are included in the project pipeline. Implementing robotic process automation can be challenging, especially for organizations with limited experience. This is where external consulting firms provide valuable support. Because consultants have worked on many RPA projects across different industries, they can accurately identify which business processes are suitable for automation and anticipate potential risks before they become major issues. Their experience helps organizations avoid costly mistakes and follow proven implementation practices. Another important advantage is their objective perspective. Internal teams may be too familiar with their existing processes and overlook opportunities for improvement. Consultants evaluate workflows without bias and provide realistic recommendations based on the actual capabilities of RPA technology. This ensures that the organization invests its time and resources in automation projects that are practical, achievable, and capable of delivering measurable business value. Once an organization decides to implement RPA, selecting the right platform and implementation approach becomes critical. Large consulting firms often use proprietary frameworks, which are proven methodologies developed from their experience across many industries. These frameworks include standardized processes, reusable code libraries, process assessment tools, and pre-built software bots that help reduce implementation time and improve consistency. However, organizations should ensure that consultants remain vendor agnostic. This means the consultant should recommend the most suitable RPA platform based on business requirements, rather than promoting a specific software vendor due to financial partnerships. An unbiased evaluation helps organizations choose a solution that best fits their technical needs, budget, and long-term goals, resulting in a more effective and sustainable automation strategy. Beyond basic implementation, consulting firms help organizations expand the capabilities of robotic process automation by introducing advanced technologies and best practices. One major benefit is the integration of artificial intelligence, or AI, which enables bots to handle more complex tasks such as interpreting documents and making intelligent decisions. Consultants also help establish a Center of Excellence, or COE, which is a dedicated team responsible for managing RPA standards, governance, and continuous improvement. In addition, they ensure that automation solutions comply with security policies and industry regulations, while aligning with business objectives. Another valuable service is Robotics as a Service, or RaaS, where the RPA platform is hosted and managed by the consulting firm. This reduces the need for large upfront infrastructure investments and simplifies system maintenance, allowing organizations to focus on achieving business value through automation. This case study demonstrates how experienced consulting firms can improve the success of large-scale RPA projects. Genpact partnered with a major aerospace company to deliver both robotic process automation and artificial intelligence solutions throughout the project lifecycle. The engagement began with assessing existing business processes, followed by selecting the most appropriate automation platform. Genpact also helped design a Center of Excellence, or COE, to provide governance and long-term management of the automation program. Before full-scale implementation, a strategic pilot project was conducted to validate the solution and reduce deployment risks. As shown by the results, the organization achieved productivity improvements of approximately 30 to 50% and targeted an 8 times return on investment, or ROI, over 3 years. This example highlights how careful planning, expert guidance, and phased implementation can produce significant business value from RPA initiatives. This case study illustrates how RPA can help financial institutions improve efficiency while managing increasing workloads. A global bank faced the challenge of processing a growing number of transactions without hiring additional staff. The bank also had business data distributed across multiple systems, making operations more complex. Deloitte was engaged to analyze the processes and implement an RPA solution. By following a structured deployment approach, the first software bot was successfully developed and deployed within just 6 weeks. After proving its effectiveness, the bank expanded automation to more complex activities, including credit card remediation, PDF document processing, and payment processing. As shown by the results, the initiative scaled to more than 150 production bots, processing around 120,000 requests every week and delivering an estimated savings of $40 million over 3 years. This example demonstrates how a well-planned RPA strategy can achieve both operational efficiency and significant cost savings. This case study highlights how a structured RPA strategy can modernize business operations. A global rental car company wanted to improve the efficiency of its shared services center in Budapest, where many processes still depended on manual Microsoft Excel tasks and basic scripting. To support this transformation, the company partnered with EY. The consulting team identified high-value automation opportunities, selected the most suitable RPA tools, and designed the initial bot architecture. Instead of automating everything at once, they first launched a pilot project to validate the solution and measure its business impact. The pilot demonstrated significant benefits, including savings equivalent to 10 to 20 full-time employees and an estimated value of €1 million over 3 years. Encouraged by these results, the organization planned to expand automation further, showing how a successful pilot can build confidence for large-scale RPA implementation. Selecting the right process is one of the most important decisions in a robotic process automation project. Not every business activity is suitable for automation, so each process should be evaluated carefully. First, RPA is most effective for tedious tasks that involve simple, repetitive actions, such as copying data, entering information, or navigating through standard screens. Second, organizations should identify time-consuming processes that frequently delay business operations, such as preparing reports or handling end-of-period activities. Finally, RPA works best with repetitive processes that follow the same sequence of steps every time, with little or no variation. By focusing on tasks that are tedious, time-consuming, and repetitive, organizations can maximize efficiency, reduce manual effort, and achieve better returns from their automation investments. After identifying potential automation opportunities, organizations should apply deeper selection criteria to determine which processes are the best candidates for robotic process automation. First, the process should be rules-based, meaning every step follows clear and predictable business rules, such as if-then logic. It should also be well documented through standard operating procedures or workflow diagrams. Second, the process should occur frequently, because automating recurring tasks provides greater long-term value than automating activities performed only occasionally. Third, high-volume processes are excellent candidates since software bots can handle large numbers of transactions quickly and consistently without fatigue. Finally, organizations should prioritize processes that are prone to human errors, especially those involving manual data entry. Automating these activities improves accuracy, reduces rework, and delivers more reliable business operations. After documenting candidate processes, organizations should apply strategic selection filters to identify the most suitable automation opportunities. One important factor is the availability of an application programming interface, or API. If systems do not provide APIs for integration, RPA becomes a practical solution because software bots can interact directly with the existing user interface. Another consideration is customization cost. Modifying existing enterprise applications can be expensive and time-consuming, whereas RPA often delivers the required functionality without major system changes. Organizations should also prioritize processes involving sensitive data, where bots can improve security by reducing manual handling. In addition, RPA is valuable for connecting departmental silos by enabling information to flow between disconnected systems. By evaluating these technical and business constraints alongside core task characteristics such as repetitive and rules-based work, organizations can select automation projects that provide the greatest value with the lowest implementation risk. After identifying suitable automation candidates, organizations should evaluate each process using a diagnostic framework. This framework helps compare different processes objectively and identify those that offer the greatest potential for successful automation. For an initial RPA implementation, it is recommended to begin with back-office functions. These processes usually involve structured, repetitive, and rules-based activities performed in a controlled environment, making them easier for software bots to automate accurately. In contrast, front-office processes often involve direct customer interactions and unpredictable situations that require human judgment and communication skills. Because of this variability, they are more difficult to automate and may affect customer experience if implemented too early. Starting with stable back-office processes allows organizations to gain confidence, demonstrate early success, and build a strong foundation before expanding RPA to more complex business functions. Once suitable processes have been identified using strategic selection filters, the next step is to understand the types of tasks that robotic process automation can perform effectively across different industries. One common use case is data migration, where employees manually transfer information between multiple applications. These repetitive transfers are time-consuming and often lead to errors, making them excellent candidates for automation. Another example is data updates. When customer information such as an address or contact number changes, software bots can automatically update multiple systems using predefined business rules, eliminating repetitive manual work. RPA is also highly effective for tracking and alerts. Bots can continuously monitor systems, detect specific events or changes, and immediately notify employees whenever human intervention is required. By automating these routine activities, organizations improve accuracy, reduce processing time, and allow employees to focus on more valuable and decision-based responsibilities. Once suitable processes have been selected, the next step is to document them thoroughly before developing any software bots. Proper documentation provides structure to the project, ensures consistency, and helps new team members quickly understand the process. It should begin by clearly explaining why the process is being automated and the business value it is expected to deliver. The documentation should also include a detailed workflow, either as step-by-step instructions or a flowchart, so that every activity is clearly defined. In addition, it should identify the employees currently performing the task and list all the software applications and information technology systems involved. Finally, security, regulatory, and compliance requirements must be documented to ensure that the automated solution meets organizational policies and legal standards. Good documentation reduces implementation risks and supports successful long-term maintenance of the RPA solution. FTER, identifying suitable processes for automation. The next step is to evaluate whether the investment in robotic process automation delivers measurable business value. This is achieved by calculating the return on investment, or ROI. Estimating ROI during the early stages of an RPA project can be challenging because many of the long-term benefits are not immediately visible. Nevertheless, creating an initial ROI estimate is important because it establishes realistic business goals, defines measurable milestones, and provides a framework for monitoring project progress. However, organizations should recognize that a truly accurate ROI assessment usually requires at least 1 year of production operation, allowing sufficient time to collect reliable operational and financial data. The primary component of ROI is the financial return generated through automation. In most cases, this is calculated by measuring the reduction in labor costs, often expressed as savings in full-time equivalent employees, or FTEs. By converting the time saved into monetary value and comparing it with the total investment in the RPA solution, organizations can determine whether the automation initiative has achieved its expected business objectives and delivered a positive return on investment. This example demonstrates how organizations calculate the financial return from an RPA implementation using a real-world invoicing process. Initially, the invoicing work is performed manually by 4 full-time equivalent employees, or FTEs, each working 40 hours per week at a rate of $20 per hour. This results in an annual labor cost of $166,400. After implementing robotic process automation, the organization reduces labor costs by 60%, bringing the annual operating cost down to $58,240. This creates a gross annual saving of $108,160. However, the analysis must also include the annual operating and maintenance cost of the RPA system, which is $80,000. When this cost is deducted from the gross savings, the organization achieves a net annual financial return of $28,160. This example highlights an important lesson. Return on investment is not measured only by labor savings. A complete evaluation must consider both the financial benefits and the ongoing costs of operating the automation solution to determine whether the project delivers sustainable business value. The success of a robotic process automation project should not be measured only by labor cost savings. Organizations should also evaluate several qualitative benefits that contribute to long-term business performance. First, automation improves accuracy by reducing manual errors and increasing the reliability of business transactions. Second, faster and more consistent service can improve customer satisfaction, which may be measured using customer satisfaction scores, or CSAT, and Net Promoter Score, or NPS. Another important benefit is agility. Software bots can operate continuously, 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, allowing organizations to respond quickly to changing workloads. RPA can also improve employee satisfaction by removing repetitive tasks and enabling staff to focus on meaningful work. This encourages innovation, as employees have more time for problem-solving and strategic activities. Finally, RPA platforms provide detailed logs and performance data, giving managers valuable analytics to monitor processes, identify bottlenecks, and support continuous improvement. Robotic process automation delivers value across many industries, but the specific applications vary depending on business needs. In the banking and finance sector, RPA automates repetitive compliance and operational activities such as customer onboarding, account opening, Know Your Customer, or KYC, verification, and anti-money laundering, or AML checks. This improves processing speed while maintaining regulatory compliance. In the healthcare and pharmaceutical industry, RPA is widely used to streamline hospital administration, patient record management, billing, and due diligence activities. By reducing administrative work, healthcare professionals can devote more time to patient care. In the telecom and media sector, RPA processes large volumes of customer and operational data, speeds up service requests, and improves response times. Although the applications differ across industries, the common objective remains the same. Automate repetitive, rules-based tasks to improve efficiency, accuracy, and service quality, while supporting broader digital transformation initiatives. Once the objectives of an RPA initiative have been defined, the next step is to establish a well-structured project team and governance model. The written plan should begin by setting clear, measurable objectives such as reducing the time spent on repetitive tasks, improving process turnaround time, and minimizing operational errors. These objectives act as milestones for monitoring project progress and can be refined as the implementation evolves. Equally important is assembling a cross-functional team with clearly defined responsibilities. The project should be led by a strong project leader, while members from business units, operations, and information technology, or IT, collaborate to ensure both business and technical requirements are addressed. Since many team members may contribute on a part-time basis, their roles and responsibilities must be clearly documented to avoid confusion. Finally, effective technical governance is essential. The RPA initiative should align with the organization's broader digital transformation strategy, receive support from an executive sponsor, and involve the IT team throughout the project to ensure secure system integration, compliance with organizational policies, and reliable long-term operation of the automation solution. The final step in a successful robotic process automation initiative is to create a clear roadmap for implementation. Rather than attempting to automate many processes at once, organizations should begin with a pilot project or proof of concept. A small, well-defined project allows the team to understand the technology, identify unexpected challenges, and build confidence before expanding automation across the organization. After the pilot is completed, its results should be carefully reviewed to measure whether the expected business objectives, such as improved efficiency, reduced errors, or cost savings, have been achieved. A successful pilot creates trust among stakeholders and strengthens support for future automation projects. Finally, the roadmap should define a long-term scaling strategy by identifying additional departments and processes that can benefit from RPA. Following this phased approach minimizes risk, encourages continuous improvement, and lays the foundation for a sustainable enterprise-wide automation program.